All
I got a
right.
six.
We're live.
We
Chandler,
are.
what's up,
What's up,
brother?
bro?
Dude, long time no see. I haven't seen you since
It's Miami.
Miami, right? How long ago was that?
Yeah,
2 months ago?
dude, that was the end of July. I got
Yeah.
sick right after that. Someone the event was sick, and I got
Oh,
sick for about
gosh.
a couple weeks.
Do
What
COVID
about you,
test before the next one. No, I was good,
dude? You
man.
have mandatory.
I got to enjoy Miami. And so if you want to do more out there, let me know. We actually decided we're going to be moving out there in the next probably like next year sometime. We're going to be moving out to Miami. We really liked it out there. So it was cool.
Nice. Where do you think you're gonna move? Like Brickell, or do you more in the suburbs?
Like we're looking at Aventura right now, which is like a little bit north. We looked at
Yeah,
Brickell, but I don't know. I don't know if we
it's a
like
little city.
I don't know if we like the vibe. Like I'm from Louisiana, so but Miami's cool because like I've been living out here in Colombia for gosh, I don't know, like 2-3 years now. So it's like Latin America in America, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, it's basically. I think you basically have to speak Spanish just to move around in Miami, pretty
And so
much.
the next event that you have for Level Up, that's going to be in Las
In
Vegas, right?
Vegas. Yep, January 23rd and 24th.
Oh, all the
So
way at the end of the year. So we got some
yeah,
improvements to do in Q4. So
that's right.
awesome. Well, we're gonna jump right in. So if you guys are watching, for the people that are on the live stream, we are just going to be talking about what's working in the market right now, what's not working, what we're seeing change, and a little bit about our businesses. So we'll just kind of like talk about our businesses. I know Chandler's got you've got portfolio companies that you have ownership in. I don't. I have my own. I just have like my one thing. So, but this month, I'll tell you, like one thing I'm seeing just to jump in is like the motivation with sellers tends to be higher right now, especially in a more like nationwide model. So,
Hmm.
the last couple of years, as you know, we've been primarily in SoCal, and so we're used to doing between 100 and 150K a month, but that's like 3 deals, maybe 4 deals a month. You know what I mean? So what we realized is there's a lot of buyer scarcity and the like the main markets like SoCal, Miami, New York, like there's just a little bit more buyer scarcity from investors. And so we kind of talked about it at the beginning of the year. Like, are we going to just continue to work with it, or should we open up another market? And then what we realized is, we're trying to buy some more rentals this year. And so we started opening up some other markets. But one of the big things that shifted is the amount of contracts. So like we just got our 19th contract for the month right now. We got number 19. And then looks like one of my other acquisitions just texted me that somebody's signing right now. So 20, we're probably going to hit 20, which is different for us because SoCal, we've always been, really, really big average deal size. Like our average deal size for 2024 was 50 grand. It was like 50,200. And now, it's a lower average deal size, but it's like a lot more volume. And I don't
Hmm.
know about you, man, but I actually prefer that approach. Like I prefer having a ton of contracts coming in because what I've noticed is it keeps the momentum with the team. You know what I mean? Like they're getting contracts. I mean, right now they're getting one every working day. There's about 20,
Hmm.
21 working days so far this month. They're getting about one contract every working day. And when
Hmm.
it's like the energy is infectious. It just kind of compounds. But what are
Yep.
you seeing right now? Like for a lot of your clients and maybe some of your portfolios, are you seeing
Yeah.
people stay niche or most other people are going kind of wider?
Dude, yeah, honestly, kind of exactly what you're saying. One, the momentum and like a lot of contracts. There's
Yeah,
pros and cons to it because if you lock up a bunch of trash deals, dispo gets demotivated.
for sure.
But if you're locking up good deals, then the team's like just cruising. But the acquisition team definitely stays more motivated. So
Yeah.
the more and they do the more info you have, like the more opportunities you're gonna have to get better deals. So I'm a
Yeah.
big proponent of like the more contracts you can get, the better. And that kind of leads into like even what I'm doing with a lot of our clients right now. It's like not staying in one market because the people who are in one market are actually the ones I see struggling the most
Yeah.
because costs are rising, deal sizes are going, or cost per deal is going up, deal size is going down because
Hmm.
buyers are backing out, they're becoming more skeptical, whatever. Like, so they're just you're just kind of getting pinched out.
Yeah.
And so like pretty much every company, wanted to make sure I speak correctly here, but I think out of all five of the portfolio companies I have, only one is not in at least three markets right now.
Yeah.
And so we're transitioning everyone from where they're traditionally in one market to at least 3 to 5 is kind of like the
Yeah.
range that I'm looking
That's
for.
what we're
So
doing. Yep.
you don't want like too many markets because I think it's too complicated.
You're
So you don't
right.
want one market because then it's like your cost per deal just goes too high. Especially if you're trying to do
Yeah.
like 1 to 2 million a year kind of range, maybe even upwards of a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, we're doing the same things and doing a lot of digital stuff because we're able to lower our cost per lead, appointment, and acquisition down substantially. And
Yeah.
so that's been kind of the two main pieces that,
Are working
from
right
a
now. Right.
high level strategy. Obviously, too, it's like, if you're gonna sell a property, novations where you're selling an average product is not working as well. So it's like either wholesale it or flip it.
Or
And
or novated if it's like really turnkey. But yeah, the
mhm,
um the properties that are not completely fixed up, like you got to be really dialed in with your underwriting if they're not like
mhm,
100% ready to go. So I think 2022 and 23, like no, it really is 21 and 22. You could novate properties that were like complete shitholes, and you would get just a feeding
dude,
frenzy of buyers because people are like anybody wanted to buy them. But like today, it's really interesting. If you have a good property, the same thing is still happening. Right? If you have a good property, like a
mhm,
good renovated property, it's priced accordingly. Like you're going to get a lot of interest. You're going to have a ton of buyers. But if the properties in the neighborhood have the granite countertops, the white cabinets or the gray cabinets, they're the new windows and all of that stuff. And you're selling a property that, has cabinets from the 90s and like an outdated kitchen. It's not what it used to be where it's like, okay, let's take 20, $30,000 off the price. It's like
mhm.
nobody wants it.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to
why
be
would
like
I do that?
50K, like you got to be like a whole buyer tier down,
Down. Exactly. Yeah. It's like you have to, if you're selling a 2,000 square foot house, you got to be like comparable to like the,
Like,
nice ones at 1,000,
yeah,
and
I was just
price.
yeah, I was just underwriting a deal with this guy who he's like, bro, I haven't sold it yet. Like it's been on the market for 2 weeks, and we're like underwrote it and look at this all this stuff, and he's got like this exactly the same thing. He's like built in 1970, you
Yeah.
know, 2000s reno, maybe 90s reno, and
Hmm.
then every house nearby is just sitting on the market, not selling for 30 to 90 days. That's a new construction. And if
Yeah.
they're at 250 to 300 in Texas, and it's like, bro, like you're not gonna sell this thing for 220.
That's one
You're
of the
gonna be like
biggest things.
190.
Yeah. We've had to change with our comps. That's one of the biggest things is like what we used to do is we would look at sold comps. You just look at all the sold comps and you kind of make your decision based off of that. What we look at now is we look at basically like the entire zip code or kind of like, within like a mile of that area. Or if there's like landmarks, right? Like this is a specific school district, we'll go, what are the buyers buying for in this price range, right? Because buyers don't really care, like unless it's right next to a really good school or something, like they'll go 20 minutes away if there's
Yeah.
much cheaper properties. So it's like, okay, we used to just look at like this neighborhood. Now we're looking at it's like, okay, all the neighborhoods around, what's actually active? Because think about when you're, and I'm in the market for buying a new house right now. I'm not, just looking for like one specific neighborhood. I'm on Zillow. I pull up the location. I put in like, the price range that I'm buying in, and I start scrolling. And if I see something that looks like a great deal, I'm going to be a little bit less concerned about the location as long as it's in the same zip code or the same city that I'm trying to buy in. Right. And not the
Mhm.
hood, obviously, like I'm not going to go,
Yeah.
but like the way that you're comping definitely has changed from like, dude, even the beginning of this year till now, you have to comp completely different to really sell properties. It's like almost an entirely different methodology, right?
Yeah. You really need to like take like a good chunk of time underwriting
Yeah.
each deal. Like it's not like it's a let me look at this and do it live on the phone in
Mhm.
3 minutes. It's like this takes like 15 minutes to actually do like a thorough
Yeah.
evaluation, you know?
Yeah.
At least if you're looking for, if you're gonna be accurate on it and
Yeah.
closing the house.
What do you, I know you said you're doing a bunch of digital right now.
Mhm.
There's an interesting thing that just came up in Texas. I don't know if you saw that with texting laws, where basically like so a lot of people are going to get sued that are texting in Texas.
Mhm.
Uh, they're crazy the laws that they just put out, and so what texting? If you're doing SMS in Texas right now, like Good luck. But what are you doing right now, man, for marketing in
Dude,
today's market?
uh, a good mix of a couple things. So we're doing some Facebook. I like
Okay.
Facebook a lot. Personally, for me, it's like something that I'm familiar with. You guys probably
Yeah.
see my ads. If you're watching this, if you haven't seen my ads, you definitely will after watching this video. Um, guaranteed. Same thing with John. But we're doing Facebook, um, and then we're doing YouTube, and then we're doing some TikTok as well. Those are the
Nice.
main ones. And the cool thing I like about digital is you can like be very targeted like with your pain points. So, no, John, I know obviously we both talk about marketing and stuff a lot for the coaching sides of our businesses. And with the new update that came out with Facebook, there's like a bunch more creative you have to be testing at all times. And it's
Right.
kind of cool because it allows you to like, just watching a video on it. It's like at least what I'm seeing is it's targeting like smaller demographics. I'm seeing it in my data where it's like
Yeah.
this book that doesn't target a huge group of people, but it's like doing well from like a results perspective, even though that might be a micro segment of the actual avatars that you're looking for. So like what we're seeing have good success is like inheritance ads,
Hmm.
foreclosures. Like one of the guys who, we're actually helping him run his ads. He got foreclosed on in the '08 crisis. He's been buying houses since '99. And so like he's like, we're gonna like write a whole ad on his like story of
Story.
how it all went down. It's like it's gonna crush, like by far, it's gonna dominate. But he's getting
Yeah.
foreclosure leads who are like they all filled out want to sell ASAP uh, for foreclosure for $60
Oh
per
my
lead,
gosh.
and it's
Yeah.
in New York and New Jersey. I'm like, bro, that's like one
Yeah.
a great hot
You,
market right now, and two,
you
it's like,
can't lose.
yeah, it's a win-win. So
Yeah.
that's for me. That's why I like digital because you can just go deeper into the pain points right now
Right.
and get those leads for cheaper. Obviously, you can go more broad if you want, but
Yeah.
that's what about you? What are you seeing that's working?
Dude, we're doing all PPC and YouTube.
Hmm.
So like I would say we're probably 80% PPC and 20% YouTube right now. But
Hmm.
what I've noticed, like, so when I ran PPC in Southern California, well, the first thing I did wrong was I used I'm not going to name them, but their initials are BC, and I used their marketing campaign, and I shouldn't say it was like terrible. Like we had to like make up on the sales side because our cost per lead was like $1,100, but we were fucking savage on the phones and we are going in person, so we actually still pulled out ahead, and we had like a pretty good like 4.5, 5x ROAS or something like that from those leads, but literally like
Hmm.
$1,100 cost per
That's
lead
crazy,
and
bro.
like a 50% lead to qualify. So like it was costing us like $2,000 to talk to a seller in Southern California because we were using this company that they were the biggest,
Yeah,
so we thought they were the best.
they're
But geez,
There,
dude,
I haven't had a single person
say
that
anything
I
good about
know.
them?
No, dude, like
Yeah.
zero people,
Yeah, no,
which
and
is
dude,
crazy, actually.
some of these PPC companies, I'm like, how are you like? As I see it with my students, where I look at my results and then I look at theirs, and I'm like, how is this person running an agency? Like, how do they? What kind of advice? I'll give some examples in a second, but like in SoCal, we still ran PPC, but like you got to go in home for the appointments because if you're spending $2,000 to talk to somebody, you
You better
really got to
lock it up.
milk. You got to milk everybody. We're having a close like 1 out of 3 conversations to make it work. And so like, and we're getting like really big average deal sizes from it. So it's working. But like what I realized is, dude, like why am I spending $1,000 cost per lead, right? $2,000 cost per qualified lead. So I spoke to my marketing manager. I'm working with Lane, by the way, who's a
Nice.
savage, fucking savage, right? And we started talking about like ways to lower our ad costs, and we're looking at buying rentals. So what we did is we actually with our campaign, with each campaign, we just targeted like a much broader area, and we're still getting the SoCal leads. We're still getting like the hotter area leads, but our cost per lead's down. So like last time I looked at my cost per lead, it's like $120, and
Really,
so yeah, we're getting contracts for like $1,000 right now.
that's
And
crazy.
so, and average deal size is still 20 grand. So it's like,
So you're just targeting. Where are you targeting mainly?
right now we're doing Birmingham because I'm trying to buy some rentals out there. I really like that as a rental market. We're doing Springfield, Missouri because that's where I own a bunch of rentals. So I got like all my property management. I've have like over 100 buy and hold units that I've bought and sold in Springfield, Missouri. So that's like been my primary market because David Perez out there. And then so we're Atlanta is one of our markets, Houston, Texas, and SoCal. Obviously, we're always going to be a little bit of SoCal because I like those like, you know, $60,000 assignment fees. But yeah, those are the markets. So I guess we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 main metros. And we actually started a little bit wider than that, but then we're like some of the Florida markets we really don't like right now. Obviously, if you've probably seen that as well. So we did have some Florida leads, and we're like, no, let's not do this. And so we pivoted from that. But what we're seeing is like
tough right now.
Florida's really tough, and we should talk about that at the end. Is like the condo thing because that's really interesting. If you have a play for it.
I don't have a play, but I'm curious to see what your play is. I only know the sad part,
the down part.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about what's working for me in marketing right now, and it's like a broader PPC campaign, and then like with some supplemental YouTube. So what we noticed, which is interesting with YouTube, is if you go too broad with YouTube, it actually doesn't work. YouTube works really well. Like YouTube crushed in SoCal for us because it's like super low cost per lead, even in a niched area. We just couldn't get past like the 40K a month in spend, you know, like that was where it was always tough for us. But like for a small channel, like spending 10, 15K a month on YouTube, that's where we would get like a 7X ROAS in SoCal. So all of our YouTube campaigns are market specific. They're like, I'm running a YouTube campaign here, here, here. And then our search campaigns are broad. And so we kind of get the best of both worlds. Like overall, still really low cost per lead. We're getting like the advantages of high intent search leads, closing like 1 out of 10 of them. And then $120, like, you know, 100, but sometimes I guess we're closing like 1 out of 8 right now, but $120 cost per lead. And so like, that's been like the thing that's really working for us. It's just now we're kind of inversing the problem where SoCal is like, our buyers were so good. They, you know, 25,000 non-refundable EMD the second that that they signed the contract, where the smaller markets, people kind of hem and haw over like a 5K non-refundable EMD, where SoCal, they're like professional flippers. So it's just flipping it to where we just recently had to hire a dispo rep on top of Austin, who you might know. So like on top of Austin, now we have another dispo rep. And so it's just becoming like much more of a dispo game than SoCal, which you can do 200K a month with a half dispo rep in SoCal, you know?
Yeah. I think the biggest, like, that's another thing too. It's like when like right now, at least what we're seeing is buyers just kind of drag their feet. And so if you don't have like a good process to basically reach out to more people and have multiple offers and multiple options, and like you could kind of get strung along by a couple of guys. And even like, you know, you try to not do it on every deal. You try to have multiple offers, but you know, some deals are just like the weird ones. Like we have this house that's like it's in California actually. Can't remember the city, but it's like an 1864 build, weird looking like house. It's got 900 saves on Zillow and no one's made an offer. 900 saves on Zillow is crazy.
Yeah, people are just making fun of it.
Yeah, exactly, just making fun of it, and they're sending it to buddies making memes. But the point is like, it's like when we have the deals that we're able to like basically go and use investor base, do outreach, get people to the property, and get multiple offers. At least it gives us options. But yeah, it's been there's definitely like people backing out. And we've had actually a lot of novations get crushed by appraisals recently. So like our fees going for like 20 or 25K, we going like 10.
Interesting. We haven't had that, but I think it's because the way we underwrite our novations, we don't look at past solds. We want to be the best priced active. And so that has saved us a little bit, but also I'd imagine if we were if you're in Florida right now, you're probably getting crushed by appraisals because like the comps are lower like a lot. Like they've dipped a lot, right? Whereas like if you're in like the smaller markets, this is what I kind of like about the Midwest is that the prices don't really skyrocket and they also don't dip. So like I bought a bunch of rental properties in 2019, 2020. And like throughout the 2 years in SoCal, I owned my primary residence in SoCal. It went from like $450 to like $680,000. and then my rentals went from like, they're cheap, they're like $110,000. It went from like 110 to 115. And so like, but then like when the market comes down, like these rentals have not lost any value. Maybe they've softened up a little bit, but then like, the area in SoCal, I saw that house, like that house did go down in value after I sold it, the one I used to live in. And so like it's interesting. The Midwest markets, you're probably not getting beat up on as much with that. But if you go into like, I'm guessing you probably have some clients that are, oh yeah, like Atlanta.
Florida has been tough. We got one
Mhm.
of the guys. This was before I started working with him, but he bought this flip in Cape Coral when the market was good,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
tough.
yeah, he's just getting rinsed for 5K a month. So we're game planning like how he can like. It's probably better off that he puts a tenant in there and loses like 1,200 to 1,500 bucks a month, rather
Yeah,
than 5K a month and not sell it. So hold it for a few years, just see what
yeah.
happens.
Are you seeing like, I know for my students, like, I mean, everybody thinks the market is competitive, but what do you think about the competition? Do you feel like there's more people flooding it in, or do you feel like it's actually like less competitive than like a year or two ago?
I think that here's what I think is what I'm seeing happen is the little guys who are just like doing this and trying to get a deal here, a deal there, doing on the side
Mhm.
or whatever, are getting crushed.
Yeah,
But then the guys who are actually good are taking market share and doing better than they
I
ever
agree.
have before.
Yep.
And because I think if you're actually a legit operator, you just you're still able to make money, but because no one else can make money, there's just like
More opportunity.
more opportunities. Sellers are more skeptical.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think like when you said like you're seeing more pain in the market, so am I. I think
Yeah.
like, we're having leads come in that are like, historically it's like no lead that's listed we want to talk to, but they're like begging us to buy their
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Will work on numbers not every time, but one of the deals I'm lending on for one of my buddies, he's doing a flip one. He was like, dude, yeah, this guy came in my funnel 4 times from YouTube and like was begging me to buy his house basically, and I was like, sure, fuck it, I'll do it. but
Yeah.
but it's at least that's what I'm seeing. What are you seeing?
Well, the interesting thing is, like, I like to look at it from a data perspective first, and then like I always go data first, then I care about my feelings. But like,
Smart.
fuck your feelings. Let's look at data first. So if you go on Google Trends right now, which if you never looked at, it's actually a really cool thing that Google does. It shows you like intent over the last, however long you want to look at it. So wholesaling in 2021 and 2022 was at a peak, and people are searching it less. Like there's less people that are trying to like look at it and like try to get into it. So if you look at Google Trends, if you look at 2019, it was here, and then 2022 it shot up because everybody was making money
Let me
hand
see if I can
over
share my
fucking
screen.
fist. Yeah, you could share it. We could look at
Let's
it.
see.
Yeah, like peaked at 2022, and then it's right back now to like 2019 levels. So it's funny, like I'll talk to newer investors that they want to jump in, and they're looking at my coaching program, and they're like, oh yeah, but like everybody's wholesaling, it's the most competitive it's ever been. And I'm like, all right, well, Google, the largest company in the world, would disagree. So yeah, look right here, so you can see. So all right, you want to see something crazy? No. Oh, that's an interesting one to look at, is sell fast for cash.
Look at this.
Wow. All right.
Whoa,
So you
exactly what we're
motherfuckers,
feeling is spot
this
on,
is
Dan. We're fucking good,
crazy,
dude.
dude. Yeah. So let's back it out with data. Wow, this is interesting. So
This is very interesting.
if you look at how many people are selling fast, go over like
The other
the
one's better.
last couple of, yeah, where is that? That's like the last couple of years, right? So if you look
This
at
is like
sell fast for cash, look at the
the red.
spike. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So for you guys that are watching, the red is sell fast for cash, and you guys can see it's like kind of low. And in 2022, when wholesaling spiked, there was even like a slight dip. If you look at dipped
Mm-hmm.
right at the peak, less people were
Yeah,
searching for it.
because they
2020,
were
that's
getting
2020.
it's
Yeah.
2021 right here. This is when COVID was peaking, going crazy.
So less people were searching right there, but more people
Mm-hmm.
were interested in wholesaling. Whereas the
Mm-hmm.
demand for wholesaling, less wholesalers are searching how to wholesale and things like that. Like basically back to like 20, what is that? 2015 levels?
Dude, this is like, yeah, this is I'd say, yeah,
2018.
2019.
Yeah.
33. Yeah, 2019 level.
But the
2018, 2019
demand for sell my house fast for
is
cash.
almost 3 times higher.
And watch this, just to show you like a perspective. That's really good. Just to show you like people are like, oh, well, this is super saturated. Go back to that Google
Oh,
Trends though,
let
and
me go back to
type
Pinterest.
in AI, and just to see like, just so you guys see what real saturation looks like.
Holy shit.
That's
Yeah.
saturation. Look how many
Yeah.
people like if you look like
It's like
wholesaling
less
is a
than
red line.
1%. These are flat lines.
These are flat lines compared to AI, but people are like, and it's funny, people are making fucking millions of dollars in AI. It's interesting that like people say that the market's saturated right now and that there's a bunch of people coming in. I will say one of the things that I have noticed, which this is really cool to actually look at these comparisons. This is an interesting chart. One of the things that I've noticed is that there are a lot of people now selling how to get your first deal that aren't even doing deals anymore. They're like, they have like followings on social media. So they do like JV deals and stuff like that. And that's how they make their money, right? They have like a big following and only do JV deals. But like people that are like, have no idea what's actually going on in the market, but they're teaching, hey, this is how you get your first deal because they got one, but they're like, oh, I'm not good enough to actually make a living off of this. So let me just go and and sell people how to get their first deal because they don't know how to really scale a business. So I think there's more of those people coming into the market right now for sure. I think there's like, you'll see a new one pop up every couple of weeks of somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to get your first deal. Whereas like that wasn't, maybe it was common. It was just really like, Pace and Brent and all the big guys that were teaching that a
Yeah.
couple of years
Well,
ago.
dude, I saw Jamil said he's no longer teaching people how to do real estate.
Well, he switched. He went from wholesaling to co-living. And so now he's teaching co-living, which is funny to me that that's something that you teach because it's really just like, I just put more people in the house. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
it's not that hard.
you're into a hotel, bro?
Yeah. Like, have you ever stayed at a place where there's more people than one in one room? Like that's
Yeah,
funny.
dude.
But
I
yeah,
think
like,
it's an interesting thing.
but yeah, there's less people. Like, I think, those guys are like market makers though. Like Pace and
Oh
Jamil
yeah.
and Brent, like they're like, they people like you and me actually need people like them because they get people their first deal and then people are like, okay, that doesn't pay my
Yeah,
bills
this
for the
is not
rest of
gonna
my
get me to the
life.
level, you know.
Yeah, and so they end up needing something like how to actually run a business. But
It's
it
pretty
is
cool the scale
interesting to
those
see.
guys run at, you know.
Yeah, it's all targeting people that are like, hey, if you want financial freedom, time freedom, and you don't know how to do real estate or you want to get into real estate. So like, I bet if you look there, sub two, if we went to Google Analytics and we typed in like sub two, there's that probably also has like a little bit of a peak where like
That
everybody was
peaked.
interested in sub two. Yeah,
Yeah,
share your
it peaked
screen.
in. Yeah, that peaked in what is it, 2023? It's
I'll
not.
add it.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. It never got as big as for cash, but I mean, just to think about one
Yeah,
person, their impact on one term that
that's
was literally
crazy, right?
not even used before he like literally not even used before he started doing this. And
Yeah.
now it's literally almost as much. I mean, at one point it was more than sellers were searching how to sell your house fast.
More
That's
people were
crazy.
learning how to buy houses and take over their interest rate than there were sellers that were looking to sell their house fast, which
Yeah,
is
dude, that's
crazy, right?
crazy. That actually
Somebody,
putting that in that perspective is actually insane.
yeah, that
That's
dude's an animal,
crazy.
man. Like he has, like hats off to Pace, man. I mean, I'm sure you have a ton of students of his. I have a
Oh,
ton of
we
students
get
in mine in my
yeah,
group.
I have a bunch of people starting at Pace. Gustavo said, "Do y'all do SMS marketing?" You missed the bandwagon where we're just roasting people who do SMS.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
were
kidding.
talking about it like specifically in Texas.
Yep.
It's funny though, there was that new law that just came out that said like you can now solicit homeowners to sell your house for cash. So like maybe it has a little bit of a comeback, but here's what I've noticed, Gustavo, and Chandler can probably speak on this as well, is if you're trying to scale to like multiple six figures per month, SMS is not the best way to do that just because it's really noisy. You know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
we've got guys in our group that do SMS on a really high level, but it's just really hard for them to scale because you have to get so many leads. Well, and Chandler, you did it, right? In
Bro, we were
2022, you
sending
guys
like
were doing 300K
millions
a
of
month.
texts. Yeah, I mean, we were doing well. Not with just SMS. SMS was doing about $100,000 a month.
Okay.
But bro,
That's a lot for SMS.
we had to send a million texts a month or maybe more. We were sending like 30 something K a day, 35K a day,
Yeah,
which is
that's
like
crazy. And
a
that's
lot of texts. That was 7 days a week we text.
and then remind me again, because it's been so long since I did SMS. The average texter can do about 2,500 messages a day, right? Is that right? Is it 2,500 or is it 5,000? I think it might be
Bro,
5,000.
I think it was like 5,000. I can't even really remember anymore.
Yeah,
I know that we had the texting operation was we had like a full-time person who literally just wrote texting templates, which now would be taken care of by AI. But that was a
yeah,
full-time person doing that. I think we had 3 or 4 textures. I think we had 4 textures.
yeah.
So that was maybe like,
He
but
does
then it was
50K a
interesting
month
because
SMS. That's good, dude.
when we actually put our cold callers as textures, they did
Yeah.
better. They got more leads,
Oh
which
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
for sure.
It's very obvious, but yeah,
50K a month if you're
that's
doing
a lot of
SMS. That's like you're like actually in like in the upper if that's your only marketing channel. That's
yeah.
like in the upper echelon right now where like really like not a lot of people are breaking 6 figures a month consistently with SMS. You could do it, dude. You could be like the leader of it and make it happen. I'm sure there's people out there that are doing it, but like most of the guys, so if I look at all of the guys in my group that are doing, let's call it over 100K a month, I wouldn't say is like super impressive, but let's say over 150, right? So like every single one of them has some sort of inbound channel. Every single
Yeah.
one, even if it's just direct mail, like they have some sort of inbound channel, just because of the amount of like lead managers, cold callers. But yeah, like 50K a month, you could basically just do that by yourself. You don't need, you have a bunch of texters and then you
Maybe a
run the
follow-up
acquisition.
specialist or something.
Yeah, somebody to follow up. That's actually one of my students. That's what he does. He's got 2 lead managers and he closes everything. And I know he usually hits like 60 to 80K. And so like you can do it with SMS. It's just not the best channel, bro, to go to like multiple 6 figures per month. It's not that you can't do it. It's just
I'd say like even
it's
after
not the best.
50K a month in SMS, like
Yeah,
I would say add an inbound channel.
for
It's just
sure.
it's hard to scale. I mean, because you also, unless you're gonna scale your markets, you run out of data.
Yeah, that's
At least
true.
that's been, and you really diminish your return. That's what we kept running into. It's like, oh, like, what data do we send it? This is Atlanta Metro. We were doing that in. But you just kind of start hitting really, really, really unlikely people to sell. And your like text per deal goes from like, 15K, 10K to
Yeah.
like 80, 100, 200K, And so like not only does your lead volume go up, so your leads to deals go like you just lose a lot of efficiency after that point, unless you're just going to scale multiple markets,
It's
which
a
you totally could
diminishing
do.
return. And then you got to
Yeah.
get better you got to get much better at sales the more you do SMS, because then when you start going to those like wider demographics, like you're just texting high equity and stuff like that, it's like you got to be able to build urgency. So like if you're just doing
Mhm.
SMS to foreclosures, it's like, all right, maybe you can get away with not being the best, but then when you start going into like those other areas that they have the high equity or just like vacant properties, landlords, things like that. You
Mhm.
got to have like a really dialed in sales process, because you're not just hitting the laydowns anymore. You're like
Mhm.
you're having to create deals. You're having to build urgency. You're having to do those things. So yeah, to answer your question. We're not doing like SMS in our business right now. Doesn't sound like Chandler is either. But we have students, bro, that still do it, and some people still do well. But usually they
Mhm.
are about that range that you're at, like 50K. They'll bring in like 50, maybe a little bit more, but nobody scales to like at least that I know of that's doing 3, 4, 500K a month with SMS alone
Yeah. What would you say if you
anymore.
just started, if you're doing an outbound channel like cold call SMS, you're doing 50K a month, what are you starting? Like, what's your strategy from there?
That's a good question. I probably would I would look at my market. So if I'm in a market where direct mail can work, I would probably do that. But like think about I would just when I'm looking at direct mail, this is what I think about. if there are expensive houses in my market, direct mail typically works less because they just, I think there's like a market sophistication, and they get a lot more letters from like lenders and thing like people that want to refi, it's like realtors. So I find like the more expensive the area, unless you've been doing direct mail for a long time. So like I've got a client who's in New York, and direct mail is like their bread and butter, but they've been doing it for like 15 years and they've got it down to a science. It's like, this is the exact list to this exact zip code. And, they do 600K a month that way. And they still do some like TV, they do some PPC, they do all that stuff too. But if I were doing SMS and I already had the list, it's like, okay, well, what's the easiest channel with the least amount of friction? I would go direct mail. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm not in Miami, SoCal, one of those markets where my cost per lead is going to be insanely high. But once you get direct mail down, it really doesn't matter. So like, I'll give you another example. I have a client who he just does PPC and direct mail. His cost per lead is $700. It's like, it might be a little bit over, and he does 300K a month. And like just the only closers, but he's just like, really dialed in sales process. And direct mail is like their bread and butter, and they're in a high cost market. So it's not that it doesn't work in the high cost markets, but if I were trying to pick a channel and I was doing SMS, I'd be like, okay, I'm in a low cost market. Let me go direct mail first. Then I would look at other things. Otherwise I would just say copy exactly what I'm doing, which is like, I just love PPC, bro. I think like PPC and direct mail are PPC is like as bottom of funnel as it gets. It's like, I'm searching for ways to sell my house. If you can't close PPC leads, you got something wrong with you. You suck. Like, the only thing is like just making sure that your cost per lead actually makes sense. Cause you might have not been on at the beginning, Gustavo. We were talking about like, there's a time where my cost per lead with PPC was $1,000. And like, at some point, if you're getting $1,500, $2,000 cost per lead, you can be great at sales, but your average deal size just doesn't support scaling. What would you do?
Dude, I guess it depends on what I want to do. I mean, I'm biased based on, what I know. So I think I would do digital, just because you can still get high quality leads that close like 1 in 20. So it's not as good as PPC,
Yeah.
but you can do it and get deals for, like the top guys who I have in my group that are doing Facebook or YouTube, or they're getting contracts for $700, selling deals for 1,000 to 1,200.
Wow.
Because like you can get your cost per lead if you do multiple markets like in the 30s.
Yeah.
And if you're 1 in 20 to a contract, I mean, it's $600. So
I'll tell you, the biggest thing I've seen with Facebook is it really matters who you work with, because
these guys are doing it on their own, just to be fair.
Okay. Yeah. Cause like, it matters to your strategy. So I would say it's similar with PPC. Whereas like, I've seen really, really bad Facebook. Oh, dude, those markets are great for direct mail, bro. He says, I'm in Tulsa and OKC. I just started a couple months ago, and I do SMS. Main goal is to make 10K a month.
I think he said he's doing 50K in SMS, sending 50K text.
Oh, I thought it was 50K a month. Yeah, because those are great markets, like low cost markets. OKC is more competitive. So like, what you don't want to do in OKC it's surprising, is go PPL. PPL and OKC, it's crazy.
Same with like St. Louis, dude. It's like $400, $500 for a lead. You're like, wait, what?
Right. And it's like your average assignment fee out there is 25K. It's like, dude, no, that's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
PPL is dangerous out there, especially with like the motivated leads, property leads that you have to bid against other people. So like, if you're in those markets, bro, you kind of have to go to like your own marketing channel where you own it and you're not bidding against other companies. For OKC, Tulsa is a little less competitive. It's also smaller, but like, dude, direct mail would work in those areas. You can obviously continue to do SMS at your scale. If you're trying to make 10K a month, bro, you could do just about anything. Like 10K a month. I'll just tell you, like 10K a month doesn't get you very, very far. When you have to, like if you want to actually like run an actual business, it's not going to get you very far. But to get started, you could do SMS in those markets. I don't see anything wrong with that. What do you think?
No, nothing wrong with that. I would text foreclosures probably. and like go
Niche
strictly.
list.
I would do niche list and not like, you know, vacants, high equity absentee, vacant, you know, just like, um, what else is there? You know,
Yeah, don't do like
probates,
the just vague
inherited.
fucking prop stream. I'll tell
Yeah.
you, some of my students, not the ones that scale, like not the ones that are doing like 150 to 300, 500K a month, but the ones that are like relatively newer that are trying to get to that 10K a month. What works really well for them, and this is like, I have a lot of time, I don't have a lot of money, is I can't remember his last name, Tyler. He does that first to market strategy where you basically just get like super stacked data and you hammer them from like every single angle of like, I'm going to reach out to your mom on Facebook. And, like, I would never
Yeah,
do
everything.
it because I
Dude,
value my time too much. But like,
I think
dude, I've
another
had,
thing I would do.
yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry, I interrupted you. I was gonna say another thing I would do is I would just focus on like old listings that are just rotting on the market that are flip properties, and just try to pick off some that are like that in that like 90-day range,
Oh yeah. Yeah. You
90-day
probably make some
plus.
money.
If
Yeah.
you if you have some buyers.
If you're like dead, you don't have any money at all. Yeah.
Hmm.
That would be a good strategy in those markets. But, we were talking about the first to market strategy. I've got a couple of people in my group who have gotten started with first to market. It's extremely time intensive. Like it takes a lot of time, but it ends up working out really well for like from a ROAS perspective, because if you don't have a lot of money and you can stack your data and hit them like a million different times. And I think the leg up that they have with that first to market strategy is you're one of the first people to call them. Like you get the data like super fresh and you hit them
Hmm.
up first. And so I have seen some success. Obviously, it's not a scalable model. To like, you're not going to be able to do that at high scale, but I've seen that for sure work. If you're trying to do an outbound model, I think they cold call, SMS, and direct mail, just like a really targeted list. So it's like a completely different approach from bulk SMS. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. Also, another one of our clients just did a presentation like 2 weeks ago
Hmm.
on how they're getting like a 36x on their D for D list. So like
Oh
you
yeah,
basically just go and build a driving for dollars list of like fixers, and just
I
cold call and text it.
fucking hate that strategy.
It's
Um,
such a pain,
it's
but
fucking wasted time, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess like we can talk about that. Yeah, Sergio, that's right. Tyler Austin. Yeah, with REI Sift. I met him at an event. He's a really cool dude.
yeah, he
Um,
seems like a cool guy.
he's a cool guy. Yeah, not like one of those like fucking arrogant, like wearing
Not
gold
like
chains and diamonds and shit like that. He's like super down to earth. When I had a conversation with him, really cool. But yeah, his strategy works well. I've had some clients that have had some success with that. Who's the best person for YouTube? Deal Source is like really like they're the only people that do YouTube ads. That's who I've used. So he actually
same.
started with my company. Yeah, they're the best for YouTube ads for sure. If unless you want to do it yourself, obviously. I don't know if they do anything for that, but they're still running our YouTube ads. So like when Lane runs most of it, but he kind of just manages Aiden with Deal Source, and they're phenomenal with YouTube. How do you? Oh, this is for you, Chandler. I'm gonna let you answer this, even though I just did it. I think this is a better question for you. How do you know when to
All
add a
right.
market? I'm doing SMS, 1 to 2 deals a month, roughly average deal size 15 to 20K in Ohio. And only doing multifamily, so way less leads. Wondering if I should open up another market. And then Sergio, before we go into, we're gonna let Chandler answer that, but it's dealsource.io, DEAL source.io, not sources, dealsource.io. Check them out.
Yep.
Go ahead, Chandler. How would you answer this question?
Multi. Um, yeah, I mean, I think like you got to follow the more better new framework, bro. So it's like if you're doing, I don't know, if you're sending 10K, whatever you're doing right now is your current baseline to get 1 to 2 deals a month. Let's say it takes you 10,000 text to get a deal. Try sending 20,000 and see what happens. And then if you don't get any more appointments or any more opportunities or offers out that are good, then you probably know you should open a new market. But if what will happen probably if you're doing 1 to 2 deals a month
Yeah.
is you'll probably just get another deal and then just do more. And then whenever more stops, like look and say like, okay, what are my conversions? Can I fix any of these conversions? And then if you can, then try to do that for a little bit, like a month or two. And then if that doesn't work, then I got to open a new market.
Yeah. Like the way I always looked at it is like, a market's going to be tough when think about your average deal size being 10% of the home value. So if you're in like a
Mhm.
$300,000 area, you should be around 30K, right? And then if you're getting like 30K average deal size, but your cost per lead is jumping up to like the 800 to $1,000 range, even if you close 1 out of 10, you're going to be, which you wouldn't do with SMS, obviously, but like even if you close 1 out of 10, you're like, okay, I'm at a 3x ROAS at the beginning, which you
Mhm.
shouldn't be at a 3x ROAS when you're starting your
That's like
business.
best
Like,
case. Yeah, you should be at like 10.
yeah, when you're starting out, like when you're at that like sub 50K a month, you really should be 10, 12x ROAS. Now, once you start scaling, you can tolerate a little bit of a lower ROAS because you have more consistency coming in, you have more cash flow into the business. And so you can get away with it. You also be taking home, from a profit standpoint, a bigger number. And so
Mhm.
like that's how I always look at if a market makes sense to continue doing it is look at how much it costs you to get a deal and what the average deal size is. And if you're like, oh, I can keep doing this, more better new, just like Chandler said. But at 1 to 2 deals a month in almost all markets, bro,
You
you're
can do
just like,
double.
yeah, you're just like tapping the surface of it. So like when I got started, I was doing deals in Mandeville, Louisiana, where I'm from. It's like 200 and it's 10,000 people in the city. There's like 250,000 in the metro. And honestly, dude, there's people even in there that are doing, 3, 4, 5 deals a month. So like you can scale out. But I would try doubling what you're doing now and seeing how that works first. That was an interesting. We should I totally agree. I currently work a full-time job. Found that SMS helps cutting down time. We should show people that chart again for like there's more people on. This is like crazy. If you
Yeah,
guys
let's
think the
see.
market's saturated right now, uh to me, this tells me this is like one of the best times to get in. Yeah, remove that. So we were just kind of looking at Google Trends. Like, are more people getting into the wholesale business right now? Are less
So
people?
yeah, I'll
Yep.
explain what's on the screen too. Wholesaling is in
Yeah.
blue, like wholesaling real estate. So people just searching up and trying to get into real estate, and then selling fast for cash, which is a seller. So demand for us, supply for homes.
Yeah.
We'll get like you can explain the chart, John, if you want.
Yeah. So the red line is people that are interested in selling their house fast, and the blue line is people that are interested in wholesaling. And so we didn't know this coming into this call. We actually just did this on the spot, and both of us were like, whoa. And so you can see in 2021, more that was the peak of when people were interested in wholesaling, but it was also the like basically the pit of when people were interested in selling their house fast for cash. Right now, the chart just went straight up. It looks like Nvidia stock for selling their house fast for cash. But then
They're
if you look at
exactly the same.
yeah, if you look at interest, which dude, it's really going to be interesting since we're doing these. We should look at this in like a month and just see like what happens when wholesaling continues to go down and selling your house continues to could go up. I mean, that to me is like a complete inverse of like the supply and demand for wholesaling houses. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it looks like it's just continuing to go up. So, I mean, this is to me, it seems like really one of the best times to be a wholesaler in the last ever. It does look at it. It's like, no, okay, let me take that back. 2000,
This
there's
was
probably
the
like little
easy
pockets
right
of,
here.
yeah,
The reason it was peaking is because it was super easy.
yeah, exactly. And so this was like just really interesting. Sergio asked a sales question. In the NEPQ script, if you ask what feels riskier in the consequence part and they say selling it at that price is still not worth it, where does the conversation go from there? You didn't do something right at the beginning of your call. You didn't build enough urgency inside of problem awareness to make them want to sell the property right now, and that's why they answered that way. So it would be like, let's say that you were looking at putting new windows in your house and you didn't think they were that bad, but then somebody comes over and they get you to realize that your electricity bill is $300 a month higher because of your windows, and all the street noise that you hear in your house is because of your windows, and everything you hear outside. So like all these things, now you're like, oh, I really want to, I really want more windows now. I'm less concerned about the price, even if I had a budget at the beginning of, going into this conversation. It's like my budget changed now because it's become more important. And so that would tell me that you haven't built enough urgency at the beginning of your call. You haven't asked enough questions up at the top for them to really feel the pain points to want to sell. Because as we were talking about earlier, like right now we have more pain in the market than we've seen. And I mean, if you look at that chart ever, it's like an all-time high of people wanting to sell their house fast for cash, that are searching for that have more urgency to actually do it. We're at an all-time high. I mean, interest rates are high. Home prices have doubled in the last freaking 4 years, and income has not doubled. Income has only gone up like 5 to 10%, if that. I actually looked at this recently. So like I looked at how much home prices have increased versus the median income, and it's insane. I could actually, let me see if I can pull up while you're answering that question, if there's any other ones. I'll see if we can find. Give me a chart. We'll use ChatGPT. Give me a chart of the median home price versus the median income. Since what time frame you think? 2000?
Yeah, let's do 2000. Yeah, it's good.
Like last 25 years, right? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. It's, this is the reason why there's pain. And it's not just home prices. It's like groceries have gone up. Everything has gone up. You know what I mean? It's just home prices and rent has gone up, a little bit more substantially. ChatGPT sometimes when they create charts, it takes them like you have to
Like
coach
5, 10
it a little
minutes.
bit.
Yeah.
You have to coach
Come
them
on,
sometimes.
buddy.
You're like, come
You
on,
can
dude,
do it,
you got it.
All right, John, I got a question for you while we wait on chat.
Yeah, let's do it.
With the NAPQ script and the process that you obviously teach people,
Yeah.
how do you build more urgency in the beginning of the call? Like, let's say you get to that point where Sergio was having, how do you help someone realize they need to sell their property? Because, maybe on the surface, they don't really have a pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Specificity and detail. So like we had we just did a live call review in my group earlier today, and the seller was like, oh yeah, I'm just downsizing. And the guy was like, okay, well, like, he did pretty good. He's like, well, what about the house makes you feel like you need to downsize now? And she's like, oh, it's just like the pool and like a little bit of the maintenance. And then he moved on. So she really didn't like feel it. You know what I mean? I had a very similar call from one of my top students who's just like really good at probing. And he started going deeper and deeper. He's like, well, hold on, help me understand why, when you say it's too much, like, what did you mean by that? And they're like, oh, it's just so expensive now. In what way? I mean, the HOA just increased by $200. Our insurance also just went up because we had a hurricane recently. And it's like $500. I'm barely keeping up with my bills. It's like they just went from a very vague, like they started out by like, oh, I'm just downsizing, right? I'm just downsizing because the house is too much. And they went from like the house is too much to like the house is like, I need to sell this thing because I can't really keep up with it anymore. So I would say like the specificity of what you can get to and like how much detail you can go through of like what they're actually dealing with. Just like the example we said with the windows, right? It's like, well, how much is your electric bill right now? Well, it could be this, right? Like what other things are bothering you about the windows? It's like, oh, well, that I can hear the street noise outside. Okay, well, that's not a big deal to everybody. Why is that a big deal to you? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm super ADHD. So like when I hear a dump truck backing up, like I literally look outside, and sometimes I'm on meetings, so it distracts me from work. You see how like me talking about this, I'm becoming more inclined to want to fix my windows than like, okay, maybe I didn't think that the garbage truck bothered me, but when someone asked me, it's like, oh, I really don't like it. You know what I mean? Like it really bothers me.
I actually hate it.
Yeah. And for this example, I resonate with it because I was at a place one time. And it was out here in Medellin where they have like not the best windows. And there's like people that sell shit outside. And like, I was a sniper in the Marine Corps. So like every time I look out my window, I'm like, oh, this would be no, I'm just kidding. And so like, but I would get frustrated by it, right? And so like I moved into a house. The next house I moved into, I was like, dude, I need to find something. Like that was the number one thing I was looking at. It's like soundproof, really good windows. And then it was like a game changer for me. And in the place I'm in right now, it's like, okay, that's quiet. I'm at like one of the top floors. You know what I mean? Like I really like that. So it's just like the urgency that built. You got to be able to go in detail and to be able to build more urgency. This is insane. So I don't think this is accurate. So median household by income.
I'm gonna share your
Okay.
screen.
Yeah. Let me see. This is crazy. All right. So let's yeah, let me share. Let's see how I can do that.
Click the little present or
I got
invite
it.
button down there.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is since 2000. The median income is this blue line down here, and this is home prices. And so,
Damn.
like you can see, it's literally just gone boom, 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 all the way up, and this gap just continues to get bigger. And it's honestly, it was like at an all-time high last year. This is interesting. It's like the first like real, this was 20. So we had a little bit of a dip from 2016, 2017, 2018, but like a little tiny dip. But like now we're seeing the exact same dip, and it's coming down. So like maybe this will start to even out if prices come down. But if you look at the median home price versus the income, it's a huge gap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just continuing. It's continued to get bigger and bigger since 2000. And so, that's why and we could probably do another graph with like inflation, right? Like how much has inflation gone up, all those things. So that's why there's more pain in the market. It's funny. Like we look at Chandler and I are very similar in the way that we approach business is we look at data first and then we talk about our feelings, like, oh, I feel like the market's too competitive. We'll go, okay, well, let's look at what the data says. And so like we just pretty much debunk that where it's like, okay, there's more people selling fast for cash right now, but there's less people interested in wholesaling. So it's not competitive. So like if we had a feeling that the market was too competitive, we'd go look at the data first and then we make a decision based off of that, right? But like all the data that we've looked at so far today literally just points back to the same exact thing, which is that there's more pain in the marketplace. More people need to sell fast. The home prices have been, going up, but right now they're starting to soften, and which is even causing more stress. And there's less wholesalers that can actually kick it right now because maybe there's a lot of newbies, but there's not a lot of people that can really kick it. So like, people like us are taking like market share. And I think that's why, honestly, dude, we're at one of our biggest months. We're going to lock up. I'm going to see if this 20th contract came in so far. No, it didn't yet, but we're on our 20th contract this month. We'll definitely close 20 contracts this month.
One of my buddies also texted me and he said they did 725K this month, which is their biggest month ever by double.
By double.
Almost double.
Yeah.
400K, 450K.
Yeah. So like if you have the right skills, it's the time to get in. If you don't, it's going to be really tough. So it's not as much like 2021 was like a newbie fucking frenzy. It's like everybody just get in, put on your hard hats, you'll make money, just go freaking make some offers and you'll do it. Whereas like this market, you got to have some skill to get in. But if you have the skill, man, you really do capture, you monetize. So we can end it on that, dude. You got anything else to add?
Dude, I think this is great, bro. So just so you guys know, the strategy and the style for this is gonna be like my first million. Me and John are just gonna come on here and chop it up, have some good questions for each other, talk about what's working, what's not, what we're seeing from our businesses and clients, and share with you guys. So bring your friends next week.
Yeah, bring your friends next week. You guys can share this. I was not monitoring the YouTube live, by the way, at all. So I don't know if people were asking questions on YouTube or people were asking questions on Instagram, but we'll make sure. I don't know. How do they ask like you guys that are they're asking on YouTube. So you guys that are asking these questions, you're gonna be asking on YouTube. So cool. And I see my Ed, get back to work, bro. What are you doing? My lead, no, I'm just kidding. My dispo man is on here. I'm just messing with you, brother.
Dude, I don't actually see
it's through YouTube. It has a little YouTube box right there. They can
I don't see our Instagram people.
No, I don't know.
I don't see any Instagram. I don't see your live either.
Do both of y'all do PPC mainly? We're gonna post this recording. So if you guys want to go check out our YouTube channels, I said YouTube channelers. Chandler Sane. If you guys look up his name, Chandler Sane, and then John Lalonde. And then the only difference is my Instagram has a 22 at the end of it, which I should probably just make it my name.
I would say that'd be a pro move.
But there you go. Yeah. Chandler Sane for the YouTube. And then you guys can just look up John Lalonde. There you go, right there for YouTube. So we'll post these recordings, and then you guys can feel free to just ask questions. Cool. You posted it right there. You guys can feel free to ask questions. We're happy to answer what's working in the market right now, what's not working, what's changing, and maybe just like provide some data and some insights of what we're seeing right now, which was pretty cool to be able to do.
No, honestly, that was pretty sweet. I did not. I that's what I was feeling when I was seeing from my email list, from my group,
Yeah.
the market, the business. It makes a lot of sense.
Cool, guys. Well, we'll see you next
Yeah.
time. We're going to try to do these every week, but Chandler and I like to take a lot of vacation. So
Yeah,
we'll see
I'm out the next 2 weeks, so
we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do them
Yep.
earlier, but we'll try to keep them on Friday. So we'll see you guys on the next one. You guys go crush it.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.